It's the NFL on EA Sports as we get set for a Super Bowl 21 rematch. It's the New York Giants and the Denver Broncos, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Opened in 2001, it lies on the same site and retains the name of the city's beloved former stadium. We're here at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. Alongside my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott, and this is a matchup, Brock, that we may see many, many times in the future of this league. A couple of rookie starters leading their offenses at quarterback.
And that really does make it a measuring stick game for both of them, Kate. Rookie quarterbacks in the draft, they're always linked to each other from the moment they're tabbed the starters in their first season. And then when you get to look across and you get to play one, you know that both of them want to be the one who leads their guys to a win, because that's a victory that'll be talked about both for the rest of their rookie season and beyond.
To kick off, here's Will Lutz. And here we go at Mile High. Return starts from the goal line. And this drive will start inside the 25. So out come the Giants, their first drive of the game coming up. They'll be led out by this promising young signal caller, already a starter in his first season out of Ole Miss.
It's always fun, puts a smile on my face when I see a rookie leading an offense out. A lot of them look like 10-year vets with confidence and poise in the middle of that huddle, in the middle of their teammates. And let's watch his first couple throws. That's where sometimes you could see some of those nerves slipping through.
Throwing to start this game. Chased out to his right. Now here he goes. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
From the 39 now, after that explosive start to this drive. Trying to throw here out of the gun. Completed over the middle. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. He puts some air under this one, deep right. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done, incomplete. Could not beat the defender there. And now they face second down.
You know, ball skills are not just a selling point for receivers entering the draft. Teams want defenders, especially in this day and age of the passing game, who can make plays on the ball too, especially on these deeper throws. He doesn't swat that one away. We could be looking at a huge game.
This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it. That forces third down.
Well, Kate, that wasn't a fast enough break for the interception, but it was good enough and a good enough break to break on the ball, get a finger on it, and force the incompletion.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. Back to throw. Cover man is there, and he harmlessly knocks it away. Incomplete.
And you ask a lot of your defenders on that field. It is not easy to play defense in today's NFL. Not only stay in their assignment's hip pocket, but to make plays on the ball as it arrives. He was challenged with an intermediate throw, and he swatted it away with ease.
Punter takes the field on fourth down, and he sends this one flying. So this one carries all the way to the sideline and out. No chance to make a play on that, and they'll take over at the 16-yard line. So we'll see the Broncos offense now for the first time. They'll be led out by the former first-rounder out of both Oregon and Auburn. It's Bo Nix.
Bo Nix entered this league as a grown-up. 61 college starts will do that for you. A ton of college experience. And Bo Nix is a facilitator. When he is at his best, that ball is in and out of his hands in an absolute hurry. If he were a point guard on a basketball team, he'd want to go up and down the court and get it out of his hands as quickly as he can. He's accurate, he's tough, he's experienced, and he's poised for this challenge of the NFL. Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Hits his running back. And he'll get it up to the 27. That's good for 7 yards. And the Broncos will have a first down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
They'll come up 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he'll come up with a gain of 3 on the run up the middle.
I know that may look like a whole lot of nothing burger on the stat sheet, but those are the kind of plays, that inside run, that you see creative play action come off of later in the game.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Nix from the gun. Got a man, it's Marvin Mims. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. Nix with it on 1st. Has him on the quick hitter. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They get 22 on that one. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Their opening drive continues. 1st and 10 now from the 39. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Shotgun snap to Nix. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And it's picked out by the Giants. And they limit the damage on the return, but it is still a turnover.
You're using this play to try for a first down, but also set up whatever in your back pocket for 3rd down. But you know what? Throw it all away. None of it matters now if you can't hang on to the doggone football. And the defense pounces on that one in a hurry.
Now for the 2nd time this game, we get a look at the New York offense. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. New set of downs for him at the 38. Throwing now, following the turnover. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, this is a time where offensively you got to regroup. You got to get in that huddle. You know, and quarterback is the most important leadership position. Everyone's looking at you. And as a QB, after taking a sack like that, golly, you got to flush it, instill some confidence, and move this ball forward.
Let's see what they dial up on a 2nd and very long. Trying again, following the sack. Has it downfield, working the left. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. From the red zone now. Pass it down close. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. In the third and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
They give it to him up the middle. And he got there to make the stop at the line of scrimmage. It looked like they had it, but nope, no gain, and now they're just inches short for third down.
Hey, I know 3rd and 1 feels like an automatic running down, but after seeing that last play yield you nothing, this offense and that coordinator's got a seed of doubt. This defense playing some mind games with them.
Tracy, and he gets in, touchdown! The Giants parlay the turnover into a lead. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score, don't let it go to 4th and goal, and he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
Now, how about the other side? Beating the defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop him on 3rd and goal.
Graham Gano to tack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Giants will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Gano ready to send this away. Marvin Mims now to return it. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. So the Broncos headed out for their second drive of the game. They watched their fumble turn into points, so feeling maybe a little bit of an urge to make up for that now in this series. Throwing on first down, Nix. The throw finds Evan Ingram. And he reaches the 35 before going out.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
They run the counter with Dobbins. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Running it again with Dobbins. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. Dexter Lawrence on the tackle. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
I think that was a throw, Kate, that just came a little bit too late. What it did is it gave that defense time to come up and deliver a pop and knock the ball loose before he could secure it fully.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Nix looking to throw. Setting up the running back screen. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48.
I'm a big fan of the screen pass. Really, you can run a screen as they just showed on any play. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, sometimes even 4th. But it takes great acumen, a great football IQ defensively to have an awareness it's coming, and then more importantly, to stop it.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. Now this one, not much of a chance of it staying in the field of play. They'll mark it out at the 13-yard line. The Giants offense all set to get started. And their goal is going to be doubling that 7-0 lead they have so far. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, a gift to Tracy. And they're going to stop him after he wiggles his way forward for 2.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. They will not get another play off. We're at the end of one. Neither side separating much so far. We'll get you back to Mile High after this. Welcome back. We'll begin this second quarter with the Giants in possession. They'll begin the quarter with 2nd and 8. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
I love the thought there and the idea. Get your guy in space. But he can't make anything happen until he catches it cleanly first.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's there to knock away the pass and force a 4th down.
You know, it's tough to succeed at linebacker in most defenses if you can't hold your own in coverage. They rely on you to break up throws just like that and take some of the stress off the secondary.
The Giants are set to punt. The Broncos have Marvin Mims deep to return. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. Has it at the 37. Jukes one defender. And a good return as he gets him up across midfield and into enemy territory. Found some space, ended up with 18 on that return. And the Broncos get set to take over. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff for Dobbins. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
A split second, all that kept the defense from making a stand right there. It's amazing, man. This game of inches and split-second reactions. A nice bit of burst, surge forward for enough to go get that first by a couple before they could finally drag him down.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. Again, they'll run with Dobbins. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11. It's a gain of 12 there. And the Broncos will have a 1st down.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No 3rd down required now.
1st down from the red zone. Catch is made in close. Touchdown, Denver. Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come through with 6.
Receivers want the ball everywhere on the football field. But you start smelling the end zone, they really want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback, just give me an opportunity and I'll make a play. And he sure did.
Will Lutz now on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Broncos tie this game 7-7. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Gray now on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. New York taking over once again. The offense heading out. Their last drive didn't make it very far before they had to punt it away, partner, so hopefully this one has some better legs to it. They'll start this series with an option left. And he'll get it up to the 44. That play good for 17 and a first down.
Kate, don't think for a second this is time you step off the gas. You can feel this defense, right? They're on their heels. And now's the best chance to go push the envelope and get aggressive.
A jolt to start that drive. They're up near the 45-yard line. Staying between the tackles with Tracy. And he's swallowed up in the middle. No gain on the run. Dre Greenlaw getting there for the stop. No progress on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
As that linebacker makes that tackle right in the middle of the field, all I'm thinking about right now, Kate's training camp. Because that's the middle drill right there. That is textbook. What you do in training camp, coming to life when it matters.
They go right back to Tracy. And they limit the damage just a few yards on that gain. Brandon Jones up for the stop. Call that a modest improvement. 3 yards that time, but still a 3rd and 7 upcoming.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
They're going to throw it on 3rd and long. He's on the move. He's running for it. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the first down.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Throwing quickly, but it's incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. So it's 2nd down coming up.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. He's going to throw this one. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
In a situation like this, you got to be a fixer. I mean, this game is hard, and you get into known passing situations, it gets even more difficult. But when you don't get rid of the ball and you take another sack, you make this 3rd down a near impossibility.
Gotta figure out this 3rd down here. Pass play coming here. No one open, so he chucks this to another county.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Here's Jamie Gillen on again for the punt. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. And he can't hurt you with the return if you just kick it out of bounds, right? This one flies out right around the 15-yard line. The Broncos are getting the ball back as J.K. Dobbins runs out there. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. He breaks the tackle, and he'll get it up to the 27. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the 1st.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
They're now set for a 1st and 10. To throw, here's Nix. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you got to count on those being efficient and effective.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Handoff now out of the gun. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Drew Phillips making the tackle.
When you don't have great success on 1st down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
On third down, here's Nix. That's caught for the first. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy in midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Now Nix. As a man, that's Cortland Sutton. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Daryl Jaxson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
The sideline shot snagged by Sutton. And he nearly gets to the 25 before going out. The drive picks up here, first and 10. They'll throw again, Nix. Finds Mims. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They pick up 20 yards there. And that will set up first and goal.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Working inside the red zone. And look at the footwork there. Touchdown! The Broncos get some late points and the lead. Well, we all know that he's somebody they like to have working down near the end zone, Brock, and there is so many ways they know how to use him down there.
Yeah, things are constantly different down there when you're trying to defend him, which is what makes defending him so tough, borderline impossible at times. He can make the smallest little tweaks to his route just like a receiver would, and it's a totally different animal, a nightmare for these defenses.
Extra point try now from Lutz. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Broncos break that tie and now lead by 7. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Gray now on the return. And great starting field position here as they bring him down beyond the 40. Now here comes the New York offense. They've stalled out since that first touchdown, Brock, while their opponents have done the opposite. They've heated up, and their original 7-point lead, now a deficit of 7. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout, so that's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. They really need some chunk yardage here on second down. Another try following the sack. Catch made, Tyrone Tracy. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32.
It may not look like much on the stat sheet, but this is kind of good on good. An offense gets a completion, not going backwards, and the defense, well, they rallied, they pursued, and kept that screen to a minimal gain.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on third and very long. A handoff to Tracy. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Jamie Gillen on now to punt. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. Begins his return at the 16. And he's brought down before the return gets far. The Broncos back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. They're up by 7. We'll see if they choose to just rest on that going into halftime. They'll begin this drive with barely over 25 seconds left. On 1st and 10, here's Nix. That finds Vele complete. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Nix from the gun. Complete. It's Ingram. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. Nix off the play action. And he has it along the sideline, but he got a little too close to that edge. They're going to say he's out of bounds. We've got 2nd down.
You know, that is such a bummer because as a quarterback, gosh, you got to give your receiver enough space and enough real estate to make that catch in bounds. That was off just enough to carry the receiver to the sideline before he could establish possession.
Again on 2nd and 10, Nix. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. Then brings up 3rd down.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive down the field. Those windows and throwing lanes, Kate, they're not open very long, and it only takes a little bit for a throw to be thrown off.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Out of the gun, it's Nix. And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down.
Everybody wants to play quarterback until a play like that. Almost no resistance off the ball and the defense ready to maul you. It was all he could do to get rid of it before he gets just clocked.
Here comes the Broncos punting unit. Fair catch made a little beyond the 20-yard line. So we've reached halftime in Denver. The hometown fans, yeah, they're feeling good. Their Broncos have the lead. Now we'll send you to our studios in Orlando and Jonathan Coachman for a look around the league with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Reports. The Broncos got a strong first half from their signal caller, Bo Nix. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission.
Gano ready to send this away. On the return, here's Mims. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Broncos with their offense headed out for our first possession of the half. They didn't add to their lead last time out. They punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Nix. Escapes the puck. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
We've got enough data now through the years to understand that an explosive play on offense, more often than not, leads to scoring. We also know if you can create a negative play defensively. In a tightly contested game like this, every play matters. And to get that negative play, put this offense on their heels, exactly what this defense needed.
Let's see what they dial up on a 2nd and very long. Trying again, following the sack. Dump off caught by his back. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Drew Phillips making the tackle.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to third down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep them short of the sticks.
Third and long for him here. Dumps it off to his running back. And he rips off good yardage, but it will not move the chains.
This running back is a mismatch maker. That's how I label him on my little sheet right here. Right under his bio, this guy just creates matchup nightmares for every defender on the field.
On now comes their punter. And he sends this away. Definitely his best kick of the game thus far. He calls for the fair catch and has it at the 22-yard line. The Giants about to get to work on offense. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete. Malik Neighbors, the one he was throwing for. And that'll bring up second down.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
From the gun, it's Tracy. And he found some running room for a nice gain. A solid 8-yard gain there, and now they're going to have 3rd and 2.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Play action on first down. That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught.
You really want those throws to be like clockwork for your offense. Every team needs to hit passes in that short to intermediate range to effectively move the ball.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Back now, pressure on its way. Setting up the running back screen. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
A give to Tracy up the middle. And again, they stall him out at the line. He couldn't get it.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll send out the punting unit. And he's going to do the honors for the 4th time today. And he'll bring in this fair catch at the 13. So no return on that punt. And they're going to take over possession. The Broncos and quarterback Bo Nix gearing up for their next series. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them to this advantage. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. First play of the drive, and he takes an option left. And he'll get it up to the 27. They gain 14 on the play. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
And just in case this offense didn't have enough to contend with, Well, now you got to worry about a quarterback that could do what he just did, tote the ball himself for a big run.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. Play action with Nix. And that throw just too high for him.
They would sure love to connect on some of these intermediate throws, those chunk throws. Getting a completion like that, well, not only does it spark your offense, but it just sets you up for even more aggressive play calling.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. A give to Dobbins out of the shotgun. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. That was Kayvon Thibodeau there to wrap him up. He gets a couple, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
Here he is on 3rd and long. The screen pass falls incomplete.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Their punter making his way out now. And he's going to try to give his defense a long field to defend. Starts his return from the 23. And he gets him a small chunk of yards there before he winds up out of bounds. Nice 12-yard pickup on the return. And it'll be Giants football. On the handoff, this is Tracy. And he has him a small chunk of yards up to the 42. It's a solid 7-yard pickup on 1st down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
Here's Tracy once more. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
You know, coach gets in that QB's headset, probably told his offense and his QB, listen, I don't want to see a 3rd down on this possession, or something kind of like that. Whatever version he told him, it worked.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Here's Tracy. And he's able to work this down to the 41. Pickup of 8 on the run. And that sets up 2nd and 2.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet. But let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
From the 41. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's taken down at the 30. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the 1st down.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
They go play action on 1st. That's complete to Darius Slayton. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a 1st down.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
A new set of downs awaits him. Here's 1st and 10. Here's an option play to the left. And this is down to the 5-yard line before they can stop him. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
The difference right there, Kate, between that gain and a big hit for a loss, some really quick decision-making. He made a quick read, saw the running back was going to get hit if he handed it, and he pulls it himself for a positive gain.
It's Tracy on the carry. And he won't challenge for the goal line. The stop made at the 4. Call it a gain of 2, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 1.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And he hauls it in for the New York touchdown. The Giants cut it to 1 late in the 3rd. Malik Neighbors with the touchdown. So they punch it in for 6, Brock, and now a conversion away from tying this game back up.
This one just has the feel, doesn't it? The makings of a one-score game in the 4th quarter that could go either way.
Gano for the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Giants tie things up at 14. Gano ready to send this away. On the return, here's Mims. And look at this return. And he showed some burst on that return, getting them all the way to their own 40. Nix with it on 1st. That's complete to Dobbins. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. After 3 quarters, we're still neck and neck. Neither side has been able to fully separate. It's still a tie ball game, 14 points apiece as we get ready for the 4th. Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Straight ahead, here's Dobbins. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. 3 yards almost gets him back to even, but it's going to be 3rd and 11 now. Now Nix. That one's caught along the left sideline. It goes as a pickup of 37 yards. And the Broncos will have a 1st down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play. Throwing on 1st down, Nix. Caught by his back. And he's brought down inside the 10 at the 9. 14 yards on a nice play there, and it gives them 1st and goal.
Okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. I've seen it once, I've seen it 100 times. Next week on the practice field, this running back's going to say, see, I'm not just a running back. I can play receiver. And you receivers, you couldn't do my job, but I just showed you I could do yours.
He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Cortland Sutton, the man he was after. It's 2nd and goal. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys.
It's a Denver touchdown. Well, this has definitely been a tight one throughout, Brock. So now that they've taken the lead, the question becomes, can they hold on to it?
And that question right there is one the defense has to answer. But this sure had the look of a drive where a coaching staff challenged that offense, saying, hey, we need a big drive from you guys right here. And sure enough, that offense delivers.
Yeah, no doubt. Extra point try now from Lutz. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Broncos break that tie and now lead by 7. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Gray now on the return. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. So here come the Giants, ready to take over again on offense. Still time to go, Brock, but that touchdown has them down now 7. They've got to find the end zone here. Dialing up a receiver screen. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Give him 30 yards on that one. And the Giants will have a first down.
Speed kills, baby. You better make that tackle right away on these receivers or you're going to get some serious yak. Those yards after catch just like that. Taking a short gain and turning it into an explosive play.
So the big play gets him inside the opposing 45, Brock, with a new set of downs to boot. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And they're going to touch him down after a short pickup.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
Second down now, 7 to go. Running this with Tracy. And there was really nowhere to go there. Just a small push to the 37. Just 1 yard on the carry, though. It's 3rd and 7 now. Looking for a throw here. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
As we're into the 4th quarter, we know this. We know that money down could not be any more important than right now. Both sides are certainly fatigued. You feel it in both their play. But battling through what's been a physical contest all game long, going to be the key here down the stretch.
This one of the biggest moments of the game for Graham Gano. You better get all of this one. It's got a ways to go. That kick is no good. Oh, he mishit it. And the deficit remains unchanged here in the 4th.
Well, once you get out beyond 50 yards, everything in the process has got to be perfect. It's a good effort, but it's going to wind up off the mark.
The home team's headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. Beginning on the ground here with Dobbins. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. Running it again with Dobbins. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
They're set up at the 35 now. On 1st and 10, here's Nix. This is hauled in by Ingram. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Now an inside handoff to Dobbins. And he gets this forward to the 19. He manages a gain of 8 there. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
Go ahead. Find me an offense that won't take that type of efficiency on every snap. Listen, it was good execution, a quality gain, and it moved the sticks.
Working inside the red zone. Finds Mims. And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have first and goal to figure out.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Nix looking to throw. On target to Dobbins. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field.
And goal coming up, 5 yards to the end zone. Shotgun handoff for Dobbins. And he won't challenge for the goal line. The stop made at the 4. They only get a yard that time, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. He's back to throw. He couldn't hang on, Brock. It looked like a touchdown, but it slips right through his hands, and now it's 4th down.
That drop ruins the payoff to a well-designed play. It got a man open, it beat the coverage. That's a call they can revisit in the future with hopefully a much better job finishing the catch.
Bertolet able to knock it through. And that'll push it to double digits in a 2-possession game.
The best kickers I've been around here over the last few decades, they relish these moments. They know the hard work all their buddies on offense and defense have done. And when they can make it a 2-score game and be clutch when it matters, these are the moments they live for.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Gray now on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Their offense returning to the field for another possession. They left a few on the table there last time out, Brock, settling for a field goal trying to miss the mark. They're going to throw here to begin the drive. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Tough one to retain through that hit. And now it's 2nd down. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
Gets it to him on the screen. And they'll get there and stop him at the line.
Kate, I'm going to call that, even though it looks like nothing on the stat sheet, a win-win for both sides. The defense, well, they rally. They get right to that throw in the flat for a no gain. The offense, well, they just remind that defense, you not only got to cover us vertically, but we're going to stretch you horizontally as well.
That's caught for the 1st. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Need to work as quick as you can here, Brock. 2 timeouts left, down 2 scores. It's 1st down. He'll throw it yet again. Pass cut by Tracy. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
The Giants moving quickly. They're in the hurry up here. Here's 2nd and 5. And it looks great flying through the air, Brock, but problems on the business end as it falls to the ground. 3rd down coming up.
That was it. That was their chance to escape this series. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points, and that was their ticket off the field. Unfortunately, they just couldn't quite hang on.
Throwing now. Got a man. Robinson has it. And he gets it down to the 35 before stepping out. That one ends up a gain of 6. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Gets this to Slayton. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. Only one timeout remaining. They've got to work quickly here. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Connects with Jaxson. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. The Giants are going to call their final timeout here. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Throwing it again here. And he hits the end zone. Touchdown! I hope nobody left early, Brock, because we have still got a game. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
And now for the point after, and crucially to bring things within a field goal. And he connects there, so now another kick from him. A field goal would tie this game in the 4th. As we approach the final half minute of play, their comeback hopes resting on recovering this kick. And the kick is recovered by that Broncos hands team. Well done by them, and that should put the finishing touch on this victory.
Hey, the numbers don't lie. The numbers tell you, Kate, time and again, it is so hard to recover these onside kicks. And when you got an opponent prepared for it, well, that makes it even more difficult.
The home teams returning their offense and this running back to the field. And get that big old marker out. Cross a major number off his roadmap after that last drive. He's reached one of the marks that every back strives to hit at some point during the season. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
A kneel down here, and they can start to celebrate this win. So to the side of many mile-high salutes throughout the building, it's a win at home for the Broncos. This is the type of game everyone was hoping they'd see when they entered this stadium, Brock, you and I included. A close one that went all the way down to the final whistle.
And, Kate, this is one of the bigger adjustments a college player has to make to the NFL. In college, you get a lot of blowouts. The NFL, every game you get calloused because you know more often than not they'll be like this, a one-possession game that's not about how you start. It's all about how you finish.
So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. The Broncos are winners, as we'll see you next time from Denver.